Good day and welcome to our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. I am Mike Egobadio. Here are our top stories. Police arrest PFIPC DG's father, family friend in Ogbomoso. Court dismisses ADC official suit, awards 100 million naira cost. Federal government launches probe into Meta, Google AI platforms. And blast rock Damascus near hotel hosting Macron. And on sport, Super Falcons set for WAFCON camp on July the 15th. Now to the news in full. Police have arrested the father and family friend of embattled PFIPC Director General Adeyemi Adeniyi in Ogbomoso, Oyo State, as investigations continue into allegations that he created a fake presidential council to defraud the federal government. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana condemned their arrest, describing them as quite unlawful. He urged or argued that Adeyemi had promised to appear in court and questioned the legal basis for arresting his father instead. The Oyo State Police Command said the matter is being held by or handled by the Force Criminal Investigation Department in Abuja. Meanwhile, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation clarified that the disputed Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council never operated a Central Bank of Nigeria account and did not receive any government fund despite having a budgetary allocation. The presidency has maintained that the council is fictitious, while Adeyemi is facing charges of alleged forgery and impersonation before a federal high court. The controversy has also sparked a renewed call for an independent investigation into the council's inclusion into the 2026 federal budget. A prayer and remembrance gathering will be held on Monday, July 13th, to mark the first anniversary of the death of former President Muhammadu Buhari, according to former presidential media aide Bashiru Ahmed. Ahmed said the event will bring together family, friends, and political associates and supporters to honor Buhari's life, leadership, and years of service to Nigeria, while offering prayers for his eternal rest. Buhari died on July 13, 2025, at the age of 82 in a London clinic after a prolonged illness. He was buried in his hometown of Dara, Katsina State, after serving as Nigerian president from 2015 to 2023. The remembrance is expected to provide an opportunity for Nigerians to reflect on the late president's legacy and contributions to the nation's political history. Well, talking politics now, the Federal High Court in Abuja has struck out a suit filed by the National Welfare Secretary of the African Democratic Congress, Nkem Ndunku, against the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Tuso, and Justice Peter Lifu, over alleged judicial bias. Justice Salem Ibrahim dismissed the case for lack of diligent prosecution after neither the plaintiff nor his lawyer appeared in court, despite being served with hearing notices. The court also ordered Nduku to pay 50 million naira each to the both justices within 14 days. It also had asked the court to compel the National Judicial Council to investigate the two judges over allegations of corruption, abuse of judicial powers, and bias linked to the leadership crisis within the African Democratic Congress. The ruling marks another development into the ongoing legal battle over the ADC leadership, with the court reaffirming that parties who fail to diligently prosecute their cases may face financial penalties. And former Borno State Governor Ali Muda Sharif says the Labour Party 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi will struggle to win the support of the North voters in the 2027 presidential election. Now, speaking on a television program, Sharif claimed that Northerners will not vote for Obi, arguing that many in the region still hold grievances over his tenure as governor of Anambra State. He also said some supporters of Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso were opposed to any political alliance involving Obi. Sharif also defended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu against criticism over insecurity, saying the security challenges predated the current administration. He pointed to effort to establish state police as part of measures to improve national security. The APC chieftain further argued that the presidency should remain in the South until 2031, insisting that President Tinubu deserves a second term. He also dismissed the chances of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar in the 2027 election. Now, talking business, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission to investigate major technology companies, including Meta, Google, X, and generative artificial intelligence platform, over allegations of anti-competitive practices and unlawful use of content belonging to Nigerian media organization. The directive follows a petition by the Nigerian Press Organization, which accused the firms of exploiting news content without fair compensation, undermining competition, and threatening the stability of Nigeria's media industry. The FCCPC says the investigation will examine allegations of market dominance, unfair business practices, and the unauthorized use of copyright journalist content to develop and train AI models. The Commission says all parties will be given a fair opportunity to present their position before any conclusion are reached. The outcome of the probe could reshape the relationship between global technology companies and Nigeria's media industry as the federal government seeks to ensure compliance with local laws and fair compensation for publishers and content creators. Still talking business, independent petroleum marketers assess petrol prices could fall below 800 naira per litre if they were allowed to import fuel directly, as the federal government intensifies effort to reduce the cost of premium motor spirit across the country. Now, the proposal emerged after a stakeholders meeting in Abuja involving the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, and the Dangote Refinery, marketers, and other industry operators. The meeting focused on why falling global crude oil prices have not translated into lower pump prices. IPMAN President Bakar Megidi urged the government to restore import rights for independent marketers while supporting local refinery. He said marketers had already reduced petrol price by 125 naira per litre nationwide and expressed confidence that prices could drop below 800 naira under favorable market conditions. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Henikin Likpobiri, insisted that current petrol prices do not reflect the decline in global crude oil prices. He urged marketers to pass lower replacement costs onto consumers, warning that deregulation should promote competition and affordability rather than excessive pricing. We need to go on a break now, but when we come back, more news as it concerns the foreign scene as well as sport. Join us again.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
And on the foreign scene, explosive device has detonated near a hotel in Syria capital Damascus, where French President Emmanuel Macron was staying, according to security sources. The French presidency said Macron did not hear the explosion and was not affected by the incident. He later proceeded with the scheduled meeting with Syria President Ahmed al-Shara. Authorities have not reported any casualties, while the cause of the explosion remains unclear. Security agencies have launched an investigation as security measures in the area has been reinforced. And so on the foreign scene, rescue teams and residents in Venezuela's coastal city of La Garra are continuing the search for survivors and missing persons 12 days after a twin earthquake devastated the area. The death toll has now climbed to about 3,500, with emergency workers combing through collapsed building in the hope of finding anyone still trapped beneath the rubbles. Among the survivors is Elizabeth Liu, who said she had already buried both her mother and father after the disaster. Authorities say rescue and recovery efforts remain ongoing as families continue searching for missing loved ones amid one of the country's deadliest natural disasters in recent years. And talking sport, the Super Falcons will begin the final phase of preparation for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations with a week-long training camp in Morocco starting on July the 15th. Head coach Justin Madugu is expected to name his final 24-player squad ahead of the tournament. as Nigerian targets a record-extending 11 WAFCON title and qualification for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. Nigeria draw in Group C will open their title defense against Malawi on July the 28th before facing Zambia and Egypt in their remaining group matches. Meanwhile, Malawi has appointed South African coach Singh as technical advisor to meet CAF coaching requirements ahead of the tournament, while head coach Lovemore Fazili remains in charge of the team's tactical decisions. The United States, Mexico, and Canada have been eliminated from the 2026 FIFA World Cup, ending the hopes of the three co-host nations before the quarterfinals. The United States became the last host nation to exit the tournament after a 4-1 round of 16 defeat to Belgium in Seattle. Canada had earlier lost 3-0 to Morocco, while Mexico suffered a 3-2 defeat to England, despite playing before a home crowd at the Estadio Azteca. The 2026 tournament is the first FIFA World Cup to be jointly hosted by three countries and the first to feature an expanded 48-team format. Despite home advantage, none of the co-hosts advanced beyond the round of 16. The quarter-final lineup now features only non-host nations, including Belgium, England, Spain, France, Morocco, Norway, and Argentina, with the remaining places to be decided. Now let's go check what the weather will look like for major cities across Nigeria today. Well, with the weather forecast, that brings us to the end of the news on Atlantic TV. I still remain Mike Egobadia. God bless you. Have a great day.